So what's my weight loss story? Hey folks, my name's Allie. Let's get started. So I grew up in the South, and if that tells you anything about my diet, you can probably guess it wasn't a very good one when I was a kid. I remember we didn't have lots of money growing up, so we ate out a lot because, and I think this is true for lots of families, eating out, like cheap food that tastes really good, is like the one way to enjoy yourself when you're kind of living, without a lot of money. I mean, I think people figure like you have to eat anyway, so it might as well be something that tastes really good, even if it's not really good for you. It's probably one of the cheapest forms of entertainment is eating fast food. And so I just, I loved food as a kid, and so I just ate lots of it, and it was all really tasty, and often it was like Southern cooking or fast food. But yeah, I ate too much, and yeah, it went from there. So I was a fat kid. I was a big kid. So in elementary school, I was over like 5 foot tall, and I actually transferred to a new elementary school, and they thought that I was the substitute because I was so tall, and my body was mature for my age. When I was about 8 or 9, I went to the doctor, and he told me that I had the body of a 16-year-old because of my height and my build. And so, I mean, just always feeling left out because I was a bigger kid. I don't know, just it affected me emotionally, and so, being fat on top of that was just a bad combination. So in elementary and middle school, all the other kids could wear limited too and like normal kid clothing, but I was stuck wearing like adult clothes that I had to find in plus size sections like at Lane Bryant. And so I actually had like this awfully ugly brown like suit when I was in like 7th grade or so, and I had this cutout in 6th grade. It was like a white shirt with like a cutout here, so it kind of had like a collar, and the kids made fun of me for it. So it was, I was a little picked on for my size and my weight and the clothes that I wore, and I never felt like I was included, which is why I think having, not controlling what your kid eats and letting them get to that point, I think it would be really destructive. Sure, you can go about, telling your kid that they need to lose weight the wrong way, but I think it's definitely it can be really hurtful if you let your kid get big and fat when they're too young to do anything for themselves. And also, too, they don't learn the good eating habits that other people know about. I didn't know what a normal portion was. I didn't know that healthy food could taste good. I was just so used to the processed crap and the amounts of food that I was eating that it's just what I knew, and I didn't know how to fix that for the longest time for most of my life. So in middle and high school, I played a few sports. I was still bigger than all the other kids. I think they chose me for the sports because I was so tall. I actually had one of the track coaches come up to me in the food line when I was in the cafeteria in like 7th or 8th grade, and he asked me to be on the varsity track and field team to throw discus and shot put. So I did, and yeah, I mean, a lot of those sports involved running, but it wasn't a lot. It's just like the warm-up wall-to-walls, or like I run the track twice. And so I told myself that I was exercising more than I was, and I really wasn't, and I was still eating crappy food, and I was still heavy and overweight and unhealthy. So in high school, I was probably, it's hard to remember, but I was probably around 230 or 240, somewhere around there. I hated high school. I feel like I missed out on a lot of like things like dating or trying out for cheerleading, or just like wanting to fit in, because I didn't really have like a good friend group until like my senior year anyway. And so I always felt like I never fit in because of my size. So fast forward to college, I actually lost the freshman 15 in college, or 15 or 20, because I think I was on the meal plan, and so often I'd get like wraps and salads, and I was walking all over campus. It was a downtown city campus, and so I was walking more and eating less. And so I was actually feeling pretty good. I was probably down to about 220, and at that point my goal was around 180. I thought it would be a good goal, but I never like dieted or worked out seriously. Like I had the gym membership for the college, but I never went but a few times, and I never stuck with it. But then I transferred schools, and I moved all the way up north, basically in Canada, for 6 years. Now, the person I was seeing at the time was a bartender, and so, I just consumed all those empty calories on the weekend. I probably consumed like 2,000 calories every weekend and just empty alcohol, and it wasn't worth it. So over those 6 years, I gained somewhere around the ballpark of maybe 80 pounds. And it was slowly over those 6 years. I was eating out a lot. I was eating lots of fast food. I was finally on my own. I don't know actually how I afforded all that fast food because I was still kind of broke in my college days. And so I just remember, you know, going and getting fast food after all of my classes and going late at night too. And so I hit my heaviest point in weight in 2014, which is when a couple things happened. I quit nursing school. I went to nursing school for a semester, and let me just say to all you nurses out there, I really respect what you do. I did not have the stomach for it. And you know, just some of the things that I saw that were related to diabetes. I saw some diabetic ulcers and some amputated patients, and that kind of shocked me, and it just made me realize that nursing wasn't for me as well. But then in 2014, I dropped out of nursing school, and I was having like an existential crisis. I didn't know what to do. I had graduated with my BA, and the job that I wanted for that, I figured, you know, I had to go to grad school to get a good job for that. So I went to nursing school for community college because it was way cheaper than grad school. So nursing school didn't work out, and so I finally applied to the grad school for the job that I actually wanted. And you know, I was stressed out about money. I was out of state. I didn't know how I was going to pay for this. You know, it was expensive. And then early that year, my parents were divorcing, and that was just a big shock. And it really affected me because it was a nasty divorce, and you know, we were religious. They had been together all my life. At that point, I was like 24 or something. And so that was big shock number one. Big shock number two was about 6 months later, right when I had started my grad school. My mom was diagnosed with stage 3B colon cancer. I had already been eating a lot more just to soothe my soul from their divorce and dropping out of nursing school and not being sure, you know, how I'm gonna pay for things. And so just the cancer on top of that, it really pushed me over the edge. And probably in 2014, I probably gained the last of the 40 pounds. And so I got up to about 320. Then I hit that point in late 2014 when I saw this picture of myself. You've seen it. It's the one I use all the time because it's when I'm at my highest weight at that point, in that low point in my life. And so I saw that picture and I hated it. Because you know, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you kind of give yourself the best view to look at. And if you take a selfie, you mostly just take this area. And so I hadn't really seen myself from afar, from another person's point of view. And I knew that something had to change. I had always tried diets. You know, diets had never worked. I had tried Slim Fast and paleo and veganism and vegetarianism and Weight Watchers books and the South Beach diet, and none of those had ever worked. I never stuck with them. And so one day I was watching this vlogger on YouTube back in early 2015 called JP Metz, and she was talking about the keto diet. And on camera, she was eating the skin off of a rotisserie chicken. And she was talking about how much weight she was losing. And so I said, that looks like something I could try. I haven't heard of this. So for about maybe a week or two, I researched the keto diet, and I found the subreddit for it on reddit.com, and I read the FAQ. I felt like I knew the basics. I felt like I was learning a lot about nutrition. I didn't know a lot about nutrition before, and so I felt like I was learning what carbohydrates were. Basically, they're sugar, and they're bad for you. For most people that have food addictions and things. So I started keto, and my first meal was a bunless burger. And then the next day I had a huge espresso because I wasn't really a coffee drinker back then. And so I felt jittery and excited the next day. But I think I kept with keto because it's such a sustainable diet. I'm eating food that I like. I'm avoiding food that I don't really care about. I was using French fries and potatoes and pasta as filler because I was addicted to that full feeling. It was comforting to me when I was feeling sad and depressed and alone and lost. Having a full stomach and being able to go to sleep right after. I would eat and I would pass out. That was my day after school and grad school. And so getting over that needing to feel full and getting over my addiction with food mostly. I mean, I still struggle with it, but it's under control now. I don't know. It's just, it wouldn't have been possible without trying keto, I don't think, because for me it's sustainable. So I know a lot of people always say, oh my gosh, I can never cut out carbs, or I could never stop eating mashed potatoes or French fries. I thought the same thing. Those were my favorite parts of the meal, I thought, but I was using them as filler. My favorite part of the meal was the burger or the steak. And so if you really think you can't cut out sugar and starches, I think you should give it a try. Maybe keto will work for you if you're looking to lose weight and get healthy. So I've been on keto for 3 years now. About a year in, I noticed some hair issues and some nail issues and some lady issues. I won't get into too much detail, but about a year and a half later, I've noticed that things are getting better. My hair has seemed to be growing back, and it's never like it fell out. It's just almost that it stopped growing. And my solution to that, my homegrown solution, is I was just making sure I got more protein. Because when I looked back in my food log app on my phone, I would notice that some days back in the first year or so, I was only getting 30 grams of protein. And so I wasn't, I don't think for my size, I'm tall, and my build, I don't think I was getting enough protein. So, and that's what hair is, and that's what nails are, they're protein. So I upped my protein and I started taking a multivitamin, and things have been like on track. And I really have no complaints at this point, The hair issues, like I was worried for about a year and a half, but it seems to be doing pretty good. So I'm not too worried about that. My nails seem to be stronger. They were breaking there for about, like I noticed that like a new nail would break every month or so. They've been stronger. So I started making these videos in the summer of 2017, and my sister actually told me, she said, you should do an Instagram because people would follow you because you have lost so much weight so far and you're still losing. But I figured, there are lots of other people that have like weight loss Instagrams. But I've noticed like when I join forums on Facebook, or when even sometimes on the subreddit for keto, I notice people can be really judgmental about the way to do keto. And I say keto, you can do keto anyway as long as you are in a state of ketosis. So any diet that puts you into a state of ketosis is a keto diet. And so I say if you want to keep it real simple, okay, you don't want to do fat bombs. You don't want to have to consume all that fat, which I don't agree with anyway. If you've seen my calories, matter video, check that out if you want. But so I say keep it simple, meat, veggies, cheese, some nuts maybe, and maybe some dark chocolate or peanut butter or something like that for like a sweet treat. And like that's about it. So I've been on keto for 3 years. I've lost 170 pounds. I'm down to 150. I was 320. And like everything's changed. I'm more confident. I'm happier with my social life. I'm better with money, definitely. It helps that I have a job, like a real job. But I'm definitely like saving, okay? And so, I don't know, it's just things for once in a long time, for once in a long time, things have been going just smooth. And I really credit it all to losing weight and getting the feeling like I was in control of things. Because I really, there for those last few years when I was living up north, things were going out of control, okay? And so it really helped me get the perspective that I control my own life. Nothing's going to happen to me if I can prevent it. Like if I don't want something to happen to me, I'm going to prevent it. And so, yeah, it's just all about taking care of yourself, and, you're the only person that can change yourself. You can't depend on others, you got to depend on yourself. So that's what losing weight, thanks to keto, has taught me. So yeah, you guys, that is my weight loss story. I was a fat kid, fat teen, fat adult, found keto when I was probably at the lowest point, and it changed everything for the better. And it doesn't always have to be a keto diet. Like, that's my preferred one because I think it's sustainable for me, but maybe it's not for you. And so really, as long as you find something that works for you and you stick with it and you make that commitment, I think, and if you're unhappy, I think that you will see that your life can change in so many other ways besides just losing weight. Well folks, that's about it for today. Those are just my struggles with weight and what made me want to change. I had to hit that low point. And if you're struggling, let me know down below, because I think it's good to talk about it because it helps you reflect and see what changes you might need to make in your own life as well. So yeah, leave me a comment down below. I do read all of your comments. I can't reply to every single one because I would be stuck on my laptop all day and I work all day. So, but I try and get to the ones, that like really touch me. Like some people tell me their stories and I'm just like, wow, like I know where you've been, like hang in there, you can do this. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to find me on Instagram, my name is keto_Ally. Again, thanks for watching, you guys. My name's Ally. Have a good one. Bye. So yeah, this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a long time. I wanted to find some pictures. Like I went through all these old books. My mom has made like these scrapbook type things from Shutterfly or whatever. And so like I had to go through all of them and find old pictures to use so that you guys could see, because I always get, you know, what are some before and after pictures of you? And so I wanted to find those and include like the ones that meant the most to me and probably told the story best. And so yeah, I've been planning this for a long time, so I really hope you did enjoy. I always do take your comments and requests into consideration for video ideas, so definitely if you have an idea, it doesn't have to be about keto, it could be about, you know, I don't know, whatever's going on that you want to talk about, because, you know, there's only so much I can say about keto. There's only so much I can say about weight loss, I think, you know, unless like I want to get into like if there are like news reports about the best diets and my input on those, but I definitely like kind of want to expand and like talk about just overall well-being and health and wellness. Again, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye.